morning. Happy Saturday, everybody. I got Daniel Rubin from ReelQuick with me as usual on a Saturday morning. We got a lot of cool stuff to talk about, gang. And Marley is super happy that Dad's home. He's so happy. He's like, where have you been, Dad? So Marley, myself, and Daniel will be having a chat this morning. Any of you that have been out fishing this week, feel free to call in. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Tell us about what you've been catching, where you've been catching it at. But I just got home last night from the 2 weeks trip to Alaska and then fishing at Catalina the other day, and then flew home last night, got home. My beautiful Kelly girl made me a beautiful dinner, and then I slept for about 10 hours, and here we are with my buddy Daniel and my buddy Marley, and we got some fishing to talk about. Daniel, I cannot thank you, Ron, myself, and Pat. Cannot thank you enough for that phenomenal setup that you set us. The ReelQuick reel seat system, like you and your buddy Steve and I have been talking about. This has been a long time in the making. And we understand. You understand. I understand. A lot of people are like, well, yeah, it's revolutionary. It is absolutely revolutionary, gang. And I'm here to tell you, between Ron and Pat and I, we caught over 1,600 fish up there in 8 days. And every one of them, except for the salmon, because we have to use these big, long, whippy rods for, I guess that's just the way they do it. Everything's weird up there. But we didn't catch our salmon on your rig, but I guarantee every time we got bit, I was casting your rig back there like I was putting the bait out on the slide trying to get bit on the salmon. But the seat itself makes everything so light with the Tesoro 5 and the rods that you developed and you came up with, the way you designed them, and the blue, and everybody can tell what we're using from miles away. But just the way I'm just here to tell you, Daniel, because I fished with your setup a couple of times here and there, but not 8 days straight, nonstop, 10 hours a day for 8 days in a row. That's 80 hours of using your setup. And I'll tell you what, I wish they would have come up with this idea a long time ago, because it makes everything, your wrist doesn't hurt anymore. That reel's not hitting you right here in the corner of your hand. If you hold it right, those of you that hold it wrong, I can't help you. But if you hold everything right and you do everything right, the comfortability alone of that reel seat is second to none. It's just hard to describe how spectacular it is until you actually hold it in your hand. Before we get the show rolling along here, we cut up some phenomenal videos of what we were doing. I want to show you. This is one of the super deep spots we were fishing, Daniel. Now, it kind of reminds you of fishing in Lake Tahoe. This is the Gulf of Alaska. Check this out, Daniel. Immediately bit on. I'm just amazed that there's even fish in this crappy little lake that Pat picked to fish today.
Oh no! Captain Magoo to you, buddy.
Ron's got a whopper. Ron may have a lingcod here in the depths.
You slide my out. Well.
Oh, look at the size of the black.
That's a big one.
We got a whopper on the cara. We got a whopper on the mad eel. There, look at that. Hold it up there for everyone to see that thing, Ron. Isn't that amazing? All ReelQuick rods the whole time. It's just, and what we were doing, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but all that we heard from everybody, from all the guides over in Pelican and the people that we, Jason and Melanie and everybody's telling, you got to fish 200 feet of water, 200 feet of water, 200 feet of water. We fished 30 feet. Sometimes we'd go down as deep as 60 feet, Daniel, but we were fishing 30 feet of water. And then one day we fished out and we marked a bunch of fish in the mud, and we were using your rigs fishing in 200 feet of water with the Tesoro 5s and that 30-pound braid you put on them. We were fishing 200 feet of water, and Pat got a 60-pound lingcod, and he was using a 40-pound lingcod for bait. And
I love that. Trailers.
Unbelievable. Just your rod and reel setups, the ReelQuick setup is second to none. There's nothing like that. It's hard to describe, gang, unless you've touched it and felt it and held it in your hands. It's just an absolutely amazing product. And we got a big show coming up here real quick, right, Daniel Rubin?
ReelQuick show, yeah.
You got yourself into a prized spot at the show, at the ICAST show, gang. If you don't know what the ICAST show is, that's okay, because it's not to go there and buy products. There's no retail sales. It's actually the industry showing off to the industry their products. And there's a lot of buyers that come in for the tackle stores, that kind of thing. But there isn't any walking around buying a piece of beef jerky or some popcorn or something like that. It's just all business all the time. And Daniel's in the new product showcase, that's where, if you have a product like yours, that's where you need to be. So anybody that's watching our show today and has any insight into the new product showcase, if you can help us out, Daniel out at all, and tell your friends, family, anybody that's going to attend that show, you got to swing by there. Daniel will be hanging out around that zone or over in his booth, either way, but he'll be describing you, because to see it in the showcase, and if it would be cool if they have a little video to play right
Yeah,
now.
they don't.
They won't. I know that, but
these people have to come to the booth. So I'm hoping that the people that are voting on this are really going to look at every single product and then investigate it afterwards. Because all we're going to have there is a reel seat sitting on a little stand. It doesn't really tell the whole story. But Dave, we do have the ability to put, or access to put, an 8.5 by 11 sheet laminated with it, with any information that we want to on it. And since we've got 3 products in the showcase, I'm hoping that they set them up 3 in a row, and I'll have 3 8.5 by 11 that Steve's designing right now to tell the ReelQuick story, and have it maybe go across the 3 pages. And then hopefully those voting agents will come by the booth and check it. Because if they come by the booth and check it out, there's no way they can deny this. There's no way. And if it's the same as last year, there's nothing new in this industry. Somebody's got a new electric reel, somebody's got a new jig, a new color, a new this, a new that. Nobody has attempted this yet. In 100 years, they should have made a reel seat that's a quick connect, solid, strong, no loose pieces to lose out your scupper. They didn't think about that part. Just, you get on a boat and you put your reel on, you got 5 loose pieces. We don't have that anymore. Just one reel seat, slip it in, turn the pin, and you're locked in place. People look at it and they don't get it, like you said, Dave, until you go fish with it, and then they get it. But slowly but surely they get it when they see their friends fishing with it, and then they kind of going, oh, what is this all about? This is a long time coming, like you said, Dave, but you know what? Usually we wouldn't be in the presence of a product that's getting put out until it gets put out 5-8 years later, and then it's the biggest thing, but they've been working on it for 5 years and people didn't really know about it. It's the same with us. We started out as a hobby doing this just for ourselves, and then our friends wanted it and we started making them, and now I'm 5-6 years later, I'm trying to market it and get it into retail stores. So it's kind of, I think, the timeline of most things. Unless you're an established business putting out new products that can put out something every year, this is the timeline I think something like this product is going to take. And so in 10 years from now, you're going to see most of the people buying new rods with this on their rod already. It's a game changer. It's good for so many different parts of this industry. We could touch about that on several things. Do you have any questions, Dave, after me spewing there for a minute?
No, let me show you. I believe when we put this video out as a reel, those of you that are watching right now, you're getting a preview of one of our reels that are going to go out. And when I say reels, those short videos you see me put out, I put out 3 every day. This is one that I'm super proud of. This is the ReelQuick system. My buddy Pat Lyon catching a absolutely astonishing lingcod, and it's holding on to a lingcod. And I'm going to let you guys see this video. Those of you on the podcast, you're going to get to see it before everybody else. We've been talking about it since it happened a week ago, but here you go. This is pretty spectacular. A stingray.
That thing's not coming in the boat.
That's a lingcod.
Oh my God!
That's a lingcod.
Oh my God!
That's a lingcod. Two lingcods. That's two.
Come on.
Oh, what do you want us to do?
Gaff, net.
We don't have any
Something.
gaps. You got two lingcod on one line. Ron, grab the GoPro. I don't even know what we do here.
Is it really?
Yeah, two. One hanging on the other one. Come on.
Holy mackerel.
One is hanging on the other one. I don't even know what to do here.
Oh my God!
You got the GoPro? Look at this. One lingcod's hanging on the other one. Dude, I don't even know. Stay up here to the rail, sir. Come to the rail.
Kubi?
Yeah. Look at this. Or no, one's a giant rockfish. No, it's a lingcod that's hanging on it. Look at the one. He's hanging on it.
That is, you're not going to get him.
Really? He won't let go. He won't let go.
Throw a hook in him.
Dude, I'm trying
In
to.
his head.
I got him. He ain't going nowhere. I got him. Okay, let yours go. Freeze pull. I got the giant one. Look at this thing.
So the other one's gone, right?
No, he's on your rod.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Watch out, I gotta get this thing on the boat. This thing's a monster. Look at this. Oh yeah, I've never seen one this big. Look at this, Ron. He was hanging on to the other one. Look at that.
David,
Oh my God, Pat.
this caught
We
us.
couldn't write this book.
Ron.
He was hanging on.
Ever?
Never even seen
He was
one.
hanging on to the other one. Look at
I've
this thing.
never even seen a lingcod even remote. It's
Close.
too big for the net.
How do you like how I did that?
It looked like a grouper.
What do you think
Did you
of
see how
that?
big it
On
was?
the
Looked like a
ReelQuick
giant group.
system. Huh?
What do we do? What are we supposed to do? It's like a bunch of captains on the boat that just went back to childhood.
Oh yeah. No, that was pretty spectacular, gang.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
yeah, it's like
That's a
we
big
don't-
fish, man.
and you can't. Everyone, you're gonna say you should have gaffed it. You can't gaff them, gang. You're allowed one lingcod in Alaska per year, and we already had our limits, so we couldn't gaff either one of those fish. Plus, there's a slot. None of this stuff makes any sense. There's 9 billion fish up there, and there's no pressure. The areas we were fishing, I guarantee you, no one's ever fished in there before. Or if they did, they forgot to tell anybody. We're fishing in the shallows. We're way up in the shallows, 30 to 60 feet of water. And the cool thing about where we were, Daniel, is you can take that boat and go wherever you want. So if something looks cool, we were driving into these bays that I don't think any boat's ever been in, with these waterfalls and stuff. There was just
Spectacular.
incredible. And anywhere you stopped, you just dropped a lure of any type down and you got bit. But that was on the edge of some kelp, and the wind started to blow, blew us off. But never in our wildest imagination did we think we'd have a 40-pound lingcod with a 60-pound lingcod hanging onto it. It was just incredible. That was incredible. But that's one of the things I wanted to show you guys, because that, if we hadn't had your system with us up there, Daniel, it would have been a totally different trip. It would have been totally different, because what they fish with up there is broomsticks and 30 wides or 30s and 100-pound braid, and that has a place, and I understand that. But your stuff, there was never a time where any of us said, "Oh, I wish I wasn't using this ReelQuick system." That never happened. And I mean, to think you're going to catch a 60-pounder, so that's 100 pounds of lingcod that rod brought right up, no problem.
Was there a rockfish on there too, or no? There was.
No, it was just one lingcod holding on to another. It was just so bizarre to see the whole mess, because it was so big. Everything was big. You're just trying to figure out, trying to wrap your head around what you just seen, which was pretty incredible.
Yeah, we were at Captain Steve's lodge up there for a week and just had and we had actually lingcods trailing. I think we had one hooked and two latched on, and there was one following it up. So it was like a 4-train. And back there wasn't the limits that we have now, because he gaffed the last one of the chain, and the deckhand came and gaffed the other one, and we pulled the other one in. We were getting some of those drops. Crazy, but I didn't think lingcod lived in 30 feet of water. That's weird. It seemed like that's not normal to me.
Yeah, I think they live wherever there's food.
Yeah,
And
there's no fences
so much
up there.
fish in that 30 foot of water stuff. And we have, I don't know, we have 800 videos to show everybody of all the fish we caught in the shallow water.
Yeah,
the photometer. You would just drive around the edge of the kelp, and when you would see a bunch of boomerangs, you would just stop, and you couldn't even get your lure in the water. There were times where the rockfish were jumping out of the water to get the lure in the air when you were casting it. It was just crazy.
Dave,
that's why I believe that stuff's untouched in there. And we talked to some guides in the little town next door to us, Pelican, and they, when you told them we're fishing in 30 feet of water, they were like, why? And my question to you is, why fish in 300 feet of water when you can catch the same exact fish in 30 feet of water?
Get a 60 pounder in 30 feet. Why do I want to crank up another 170 feet with your?
And we didn't get one of those monster halibut, but we got plenty of the good eating size, the hens, the little ones. We got plenty of those. We all took home our limit of 50 pounds of fillets. So whatever. If I go back there, it's going to be 30 feet of water or bust. I'm not fishing deep water. There's no reason to it.
Yeah, so no reason for me to wrap a new ReelQuick rod for a 4-aught Penn Senator, so you can.
You might want to do it for somebody else. I'm not using it.
Okay, well then I won't send it with you.
I'm all about the light line sensation. It was just incredible. And your system with the way you designed those rods, you picked out the perfect rods for what your reel seat's on, because they all had light tips, made jigging really fun, just bouncing that little Akara jig or bouncing that mad eel or bouncing that assist diamond jig or whatever, just slowly jiggling it as it bounced on the bottom. Those fish couldn't help themselves. They would just jump on it every time. It was absolutely amazing.
That's fun.
I'm going to try to get this other video put up here in a second to show something. Can you show everybody this ReelQuick system and what's going on with it? I'm going to show your video here real quick. And
that last video that you showed before you put it out on the reels, are you able to put a still shot at the end of Pat holding that lingcod up? Because that was a really good picture that you had that I saw go through somewhere. I'm not sure where, but yeah, it'd be great to end that video with that. And so, yeah, you go do your thing over there. And hey, you guys, this is Danny with ReelQuick Fishing. How's it going today? Yeah, I always like to show this off when I have a chance. Check out this reel seat, man. No more clamps, no more brackets, smooth on the bottom. It is in the lock position. We'll just turn this pin 180 degrees, and this comes right off the rod with this dovetail connection. Check that out. Super slick, no loose pieces, extremely strong. In the lock position, this is not coming off the rod. Smooth. Check it out, ReelQuickFishing.com.
Do you got it?
Nice, very nice.
Right?
Dave, I'm going to look at the comments really quick over here on the side and give a shout out to some of these people. I got T-Wood. Good morning. T-Wood, I haven't seen that guy. Andrew Camp, good morning, sir. How you doing? Anybody have any questions? I would love to answer anything you guys got. John Stanley's here. Hi, John. Good morning, John. Say hello to your beautiful wife for us too, please.
That's the man right there on the screen that caught that giant lingcod, Daniel. Pat Lyon. You able to read that?
Yes.
Pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, John Stanley, I don't know. You went fishing. If you want to call in, Darren, any of you guys that want to call in, feel free to do so. We're right here, standing by.
Yes, Mr. Robert. I see that either. Tiffany's probably watching. Tiffany going to recover from that very quickly, and she's got some plans to get some Your Saltwater Guide rods branded for Your Saltwater Guide. That's going to be fun. She's going to recover for us, get those hands going on that machine.
The other thing I want to talk about is the weather, gang. The weather right now is absolutely unbelievable. Daniel and I were looking at the weather this morning before we went live. There's like it almost looks like a hurricane type of thing going on. The eye of the hurricane looks like it's out on the 289. The wind's going up the coast, southeast, and it's going down the coast outside of Clemente, out of the west. We got our good buddy Darren calling in right now. Good morning, Darren.
Hey, good morning, Dave. Hi, Daniel.
Hey, Darren. Good morning, sir.
Hey, just a little quick local Byte info. Went fishing out of Oceanside 2 days ago because they had anchovy. They said Mission Bay only had sardines, so we went out of Oceanside. Went up to the barn kelp, searched around, find the right conditions, and we went wide open on the calico.
Yeah, that with those you took some pictures and stuff, but talk about conditions, what you're talking about, and how important that anchovy is.
Yeah, even the bait receiver guy was like, "Hey, it's real beat up," and I'm like, "We'll try it anyway." And it was beat up, scales missing, red noses, but they all lived. Got up to the barn kelp. I was a little worried about the wind was coming out of the southwest, but luckily the current was going north, so it kind of worked the way we could anchor. We had to find the right edge to anchor on. It took several times to find the right edges. But once we worked with the current and the wind, we found that the fish were wide open. Once we found the right spot, we had to re-anchor several times. But once we did it, I had two kind of newbies on the board, my buddy and his friend and his son. But man, we got them wide open. We had at least 60 fish and missed a whole bunch of other bites because they were kind of newbies. But we had an absolute blast.
How fun is that? And it was all fly line?
Every single fly line, that's all it was. Of course, you know me, I threw the plastic a little bit, and I got a few bites. The Ikara got a few bites, but they wanted the chovy. We had the chum tube working. We had them right up to the boat. It was great.
No, it's so cool to hear that. And what a lot of people don't understand is that fly line thing that is the thing, gang. Most of you put a sinker on, and the minute you put a sinker on, you're no longer fly lining, right, Darren?
Yeah, they were coming right up to the surface. The kelp was actually thick, but the current was ripping so good, it was under the water. It wasn't floating to the surface.
Right.
Even if you try to put a sinker on, then you just get right down in the kelp, and you get all tangled up. So we were staying right on top, and we were crushing them.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's the key, gang. And then, like Darren was saying, looking for conditions. Conditions are super important. What kind of conditions were you looking for, Darren, just so everybody can understand? They've all heard me talk about it, but maybe hearing it from you will make it even better.
Yeah, we definitely wanted to find the current. When we put the chum tube in, we wanted those chum pieces to be floating, some direction. Luckily, like I said, yesterday it was uphill, but luckily the wind was blowing the same direction, so our stern, was headed towards the kelp that we wanted it to. So we were able to keep the baits going right with the chum, right with the current, and once we found the right spot, we only fished 2 main spots for 3 hours, and we had 60 plus fish, just crushing it.
Sweet. That's so cool to hear that and how good it was. That is just,
Yep.
Yeah. When you put it all together, it's a puzzle, and when you put the puzzle all together, you get rewarded, right, Darren?
Yeah, the first 2 spots we tried, they weren't biting because like I said, the boat position wasn't where we needed it to be. So we had to get the boat in the right position with the current. And then we ended the day. We released most of them. We kept a couple. And, of course, thanks to Don Stanley, we cut him up on his awesome new cutting board. And we had some fish tacos last night.
Nice. How wonderful is that, gang? I want you to check this out too. Darren, where did you learn how to read conditions and all the different things that you're talking about? Where did all that come from?
I have been a member of your website for a couple of years now, and that's where I got it all. All the videos that you have on your website, I've watched them all several times. Not that I don't know everything, but it just kind of puts that memory back in my mind of which conditions, how to anchor, how to read the current, and then teaching my friends, how to fly line, how to use the bait runner. Your website has helped tremendously.
Thank you for that very, very much. Yeah, and you're definitely a family member for sure. Kelly loves you. I love you, and all the rest of the members, the OGs.
I love you too, John.
You guys hang out and have a great time together, and I love having you guys as part of the website. If you guys are listening to this and you want to see what he's talking about, the QR code's up on the screen. You can go check out my website. I give you a 7-day free look. You can go see for yourself if it's even worth becoming a member. There's the biggest thing that the knock on the website that I hear is there's no negativity, and a lot of people love negative, and there's no negative there. So people come in and they don't see any drama, so they split. I understand. This is not a place for your negative comments. So if you want to go learn how to catch fish and have a good time with a bunch of like-minded people, you might want to check out the website. If you're looking for a bunch of negativity, this is the wrong place.
Dave, do you have a good suggestion of where they can go for negativity?
Nope. I'm not even saying the name.
Good.
Yeah, Darren, thank you for calling in this morning. That was cool.
Thanks, Darren.
Thanks, Dave, for everything. I'm sure Marley missed you a bunch, and I'm sure Kelly missed you a little bit.
Yeah, she did. She was super happy when I got home, and everywhere I go, I make a big mess. I'm like Pigpen.
Yeah. All right, take it easy, guys.
See ya, Darren.
Good day.
Yeah, so there's the QR code up on the screen. But back to what our good buddy John Stanley was asking, right underneath of it, Pat Lyon let you know. But the tool for taking that pin out for the reel, it's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, my fingernail. I have a new fan of ReelQuick.
Hold that up. Oh, is that your doggy?
Yeah, Dunkin' Donuts. I have a new friend of mine, a new fan of ReelQuick. His name's Kyle in Simi Valley, and he just wrapped the most incredible rail rod. I want to get a video so I could show you guys the colors, and the ReelQuick reel seat's on there. That works, but his colors are really nice. And he has a 3D farm at his house in Simi Valley. He said he's got 15 3D printers, and I gave him the reel seat, and he's like, you know what we did for regular reel seats? And he showed me this plastic piece that has the cleats on it that you slip into a regular reel seat and tighten the ferrule down. It's got a level on it for putting your guides on. He said, send me the model for the dovetail. And the next day he had a freaking ReelQuick dovetail printed out with the level on top of it already done. And he's going to send us a bunch of those. The next thing he's doing right now is a keychain bottle opener with a flathead screwdriver, so you can lock your reel seat, your ReelQuick reel seat. So that's the next thing he's doing.
Do you have that reel seat with you right now still on your lap?
I do.
I
want to show you guys this.
Show the pin
I've been working on.
Show the pin that John Stanley and Pat are talking about right now and how easy it is to turn it. I mean, Pat has those delicate little fingernails, and he was able to turn it with his fingernail.
There's the pin. There's the pin on the inside, and you can see there's a flat spot cut in the pin. And that is where, just for you guys know, that little half moon right there, when that pin turns the other way, and we're going to do this maybe with the fingernail. Oh, yeah. We're going to lock that thing into position now. And now the round part of that pin goes up into the cavity and prevents it from backing out. So we're going to slide that on, and we're going to turn the pin to go unlock again. Slide it over the top of the pin, lock it back in place, and that's it. Yeah, there's a detent. There's a spring and a ball and a detent. So when you snap that thing into locking position, it's not just going to turn when you're fighting a fish. You need pressure to turn it. The fingernail is just enough. So it's not going to turn when you're fighting a fish and with this thing pulling in that direction. It does take force to turn this, but just a little bit, just enough to keep it in place. And that thing comes right off of there. I'm wondering, Dave, was that answering their question?
Oh yeah, that answers everybody's questions perfectly.
Close. So check this out. Go ahead, Dave.
I'm going to just say something about that system. I just got to be honest, I'm skeptical of everything. And when I saw the system for the first time a year and a half ago, I was like, wonder how that pin stands up when you fish with it all day. Well, let me tell you something. Pat and Ron and we fish that system as hard as anybody on the planet. There's no one's going to ever fish it as hard as we three of us just did. And Pat's on here right now. Ron's watching. There was never a time where we thought, oh my goodness, the pin backed off. There was no movement of the reel. Let me tell you something, gang. I've been fishing for a long time. Those ferrule screws on the rods, I don't care. They back off all the time unless you take a pipe wrench and tighten them up. And we don't want to do that because then we can't get them off. But
Dave, I tightened one of those inferior reels down with a strap wrench, a 50, when I was at the Hurricane. 150-pound tuna and 2 cranks, and it came loose. 2 cranks, and I tighten it. 2 cranks, and I tighten it. It's horrible. Go ahead.
Because the reel's shifting back and forth on the reel seat, the old style, the Alps or whatever. I'm not taking anything away from any manufacturer that makes them. That's the way they've been made since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
This is just something brand new and Pat will tell you, Ron will tell you, there's probably some people that fish harder than we just did, but there was never a time where you had to retighten the ferrule screws because there are none. And the reel never got sloppy. My buddy Dave Burris, reel rod builder forever, good friend of Tiffany's, that was kind of what he was saying. I wonder how it stands up when it's fished hard. Well, I don't think maybe there is. Maybe there's some people. I'm not trying to take anything away from any of you, but I was impressed. Pat was impressed, and Ron was impressed. There was never a time where we were driving out to the area or we were coming back going, "Oh, we got to tighten that. We got to tighten that set screw, dude." It's a one-time with your fingernail half turn, and it's done.
Yeah, Dave, it's so simple that it's too scary for some people, right? It's just the matter like that, and so.
And the tolerance, Daniel, the tolerance on it is insane because there is no wiggle room, gang. It is locked in. That reel does not move a tiny bit. 90% of the rod and reel setups today, the reel moves around when you put it on your reel seat and you tighten those ferrule screws, you can wiggle the reel a little bit. When you wiggle the reel a little bit, that starts to back off those ferrule screws. I can't say it enough. I cannot say it enough. And Pat, right here again.
Pat,
this is just something that's just revolutionary. Because Pat's like myself. We've fished the other way our whole lives, and this system just blew our minds. It just absolutely blew our minds.
superb. It's great hearing that come from you, Dave. And yeah, like I said, if you look at this on over a video and I show it to you, everybody's just like, no, I can't trust that. I like my clamps. It's like,
Right.
but as soon as it's going to start snowballing. It's going to start snowballing. And now it's been going for 6 years now. And now it's going to go like this. And I have no doubt in my mind that it's just going to start taking off here. And yeah, am I ready? I don't know if I'm ready or not. I'm going to sell out what I got and I'm going to go make more. And the people that I don't have it when they come, they're just going to have to wait, and they're going to be happy to wait, because when they finally get it in their hands, they're going to be like, I should have done this. We should have done this 100 years ago.
And I'll tell you another thing from me, Daniel. If I was to make a rod from today forward, there would never be another rod made for me without the ReelQuick system on it. There's no reason, gang. And especially, go back to what you were talking about 10 minutes ago or something about the guy that's got that rail rod. Okay, if you rail rod this system, you're going to go, what? And all the captains are and owners of all the sport boats are going to be so happy, because you're not destroying the mahogany rails. So show that thing again and how easy it slides up and down the rail, Daniel.
Well, I don't have a rail rod in my hands, but
you don't need a rail rod. Pull back to the ReelQuick system.
Got it. Pardon me.
See how that slides across there? The thing that tears our rails up the most, gang, is those threads on your ferrule blanks. When you slide those threads up and down the rail fighting a tuna, go look at the boats. You can see how bad those ferrule threads are for the rails. It's terrible.
And your knuckle.
And you have to have if you have fiberglass rails or fiberglass boat, and you're doing the kneeling down on the ground, and you don't have that stainless steel bar to put it in, you're just grinding up whoever's boat you're on. Not anymore. Not anymore.
I can't wait for the captains to require that you have ReelQuick or something similar, because we don't allow ferrule nuts or bolts on the back or clamps because they damage our boat.
Big time. But there was never another way until now.
Yeah, and here it is. Yeah, superb.
Yeah,
right?
we got to get you to go down, and I think the next step, go down there and meet with Tim Ekstrom on the Royal Stars. He's such a good friend and such a great human, and he's a revolutionary. He's the one that made the...
You could call him, Dave. You could call him and tell him, or ask him if he'd like a couple of ReelQuick rods on the boat. I'll put him on there for a season. I can't give away thousands of dollars worth of gear, but I've got rods on a couple of boats right now that they're fishing them. They're having a good time. I can't supply it to everybody, but I'd be more than happy to give him a couple of rods on the boat to use, a couple of boat rods for the season. So yeah, I'll go jump on the boat with him. I got freaking so many trips this year. I'm going to be fishing more this year than I ever have on some of these boats. Dave, I wanted to go over something with you guys that I've been working on. So we finally have the requirement to get the retail packaging going. We have some stuff in stores. We have combo units in stores but we haven't been selling the components, and we're trying to figure out how to market this and how this is going to work out. So here's the packaging. This is prototype. And I'm going to get 50 of these made for iCast so I can have my products on a grid wall to show these buyers that we can go into a retail store and have a setup. So here's the front of it. I'm going to pull this out because the glare makes it hard to see. But here's the panel that I'm making. So we're going to print this on a 19-inch long panel so I can fold it in half instead of having it printed on two sides like this. It's going to end up being a pocket. And so what I'm going to have in the pocket is going to be a warranty card that we've made up, a very personal warranty card that I will look at every case by case. Since the company's brand new, I'm able to do that right now. Let's see, up in the top corner, we'll have so I want one packaging for everything because I don't want to waste money on trash people just throw this stuff away. So we're going to have one packaging in this. I could put a sticker on the top corner that tells the brand of the reel that we are adapted to. If it's a reel foot going in here, if it's a reel seat, I'll have ReelQuick up here. And then on the other side here, we'll have the part number. And the part number, you're going to have to go in like you're going into AutoZone to find a spark plug for your Honda Accord 2013. Same thing here. You go on the back, you find the reel that you have or that you want to use with the rod, and the part number for that reel is there, and it has stars of 1, 2, 3 asterisk, whether or not you could do it yourself because the screws that come out of your reel go right back in, or 2 stars if you need to have aftermarket screws, because the way we designed it have to be aftermarket. We'll include those in the package. And then the 3 stars is your reel is pinned. It has rivets. I don't want you to do that yourself at home. I'd like to do it at one of our service centers. It says that we have a service center. I have one service center, me, in Oxnard at the moment. We are looking for people to grab a hold of this and want to be a service center in the Midwest or on the East Coast or in the South. So that will be available later. We have a couple of applicants that are looking into it in Louisiana for one, and Florida. So anyways, this is the packaging. There's a QR code that will take you to an elaborated version of the parts list. And then also another QR code for the website. So yeah, just working on that. And then it's going to go into the Ziploc bag, and you'll see it on the shelves. Hopefully shortly after ICAST, we get some people wanting to, there you go. A little hole for a peg. Yeah. So, I've never done this. I'm doing this my own, I'm just doing this. I'm just moving forward. I don't know where it's going to take me. I don't know if that's the packaging we'll end up with. I'm going to try and get involved with a few people. We're looking for manufacturing partners now. Need to find somebody that wants to make this for me. We have a bunch of parts that are made. Where we're making them is not the most efficient place to make them. And the machinist, is very honest with me. He loves making it, but his equipment that he has is not the right equipment to go full production with this. So he's got me to this point, and he's going to hand me off to somebody that wants to take this under their reins and make this for us and get this organized, get the packaging organized, get the supply chain and the retail flow going. We're going to be talking to a few people at the show, and I've already got one organization in mind that I think is going to be able to take this from me. I'm doing this all on my own, Dave, and so it's a lot, and I'd much rather hand this off to somebody that's got the retail flow, that's got the website, that's already got all this stuff going, and then I could go out and continue to promote, maybe go fishing a little bit. I haven't been able to fish just because that's all I'm doing is this. But so I've never done this. This is what's going on right now in my life, and I'm going to push forward on this retail and wholesale thing. What we really want custom rod builders using this product, right? We want to get this on as many rods as possible. So besides the wholesale, I mean the retail part on the website, we're going to have a wholesale portion of the website. So those rod wrappers can buy this reel seat at a discount, and they can sell it to their customer for a markup. It'll get them to use the product more. And we've got a few fans already. Tiffany loves this product. Kyle, my buddy Kyle, loves this product. We've got a few rod wrappers that are already interested in selling it. So
yeah, that's like you and I talked about before. That's the hardest thing, is to get over that lack of awareness of this product. And that's what I think is a really cool thing about you being involved with us. There's so many people that see this podcast every day that had no idea your product existed. So this is a cool way. And then the greatest salesman on the planet Earth, Pat Lyon, he's a true believer in the product. So
it's so awesome.
You and him can have a conversation. He is the guru of sales. He is the man. So he can help you. He'll talk to you. He loved your product. He like him and I and Ron said, it changed what we were going to do in Alaska. That's for damn sure.
That's so awesome.
It absolutely changed it. So I'll get you Pat's number today, and you can give him a call, and maybe he can help you to figure out, because whatever he tells me to do, I try to do it to the best of my ability, and it seems to work out pretty well. So he can help you out tremendously. That's what he's built a hell of a life off of sales. So it might help to talk to him for a few minutes. Gang, the QR code's up on the screen if you want to see what Daniel's got going on. If a lot of this stuff is intriguing to you, you can go over to the website. You can check it out. Also, starting on Monday morning, we're going to be, all of our videos that you're going to see for the next couple weeks are going to have his product every day, 3 videos a day. I've already sent them all to Elliot. Daniel, your head's going to explode, because it's going to be, the first one's going to come out at 8 in the morning. Then the next one's going to come out at 2 in the afternoon. The next one's going to come out at 6 o'clock at night. And it's all highlighting your product, dude, because here's what happened, gang. Promar sent us up a bunch of lures. So you're going to see a ton of fish caught on the Promar lures. You saw us catching them on the Promar lure, the Akara jig, the diamond jig, the live deception. We were catching fish full speed on those. Those are their products. Hookup baits sent us a bunch of hookup baits. We caught a ton of fish on those. You're going to see them hanging out of the fish's mouth. And then Okuma sent us a bunch of mad eels and the these bitchin' mackerel lures that you're going to see. But the one common denominator to all of this is the ReelQuick reel seat system. Every fish is caught with that. And you guys are going to see all of it. There's no way around it. You're going to see all these videos coming out. Dude,
it's amazing that I have you talking about my product the way you're talking about it. It blows me away. When I start thinking about it, I get tears in my eyes, just because, it's blowing me away.
But what I want to tell everybody is Daniel took the initiative. Promar took the initiative. Okuma took the initiative. Hookup Baits took the initiative. They all shipped all their products up to us. So they knew Dave's going to make a bunch of content. What a better way to showcase your product, right, Daniel? To have the boys fishing with it every day for 8 days. Everybody knew we were going. Everybody knew how we fish. And Daniel's like, hey, could I send you up 3 of the rods so you guys could try them out? We didn't try them out, dude. That's the only thing we used. There was no trying it out, dude. There was never a time where one of us said, hey, I want to go grab that broomstick. It was just real quick.
Where's the broomstick?
Yeah, the broomstick with the
12-pound
wide reel on it. The whole system weighs about 12 pounds, and you got to hold that all day fishing for 10 hours. No. It was all ReelQuick all the time. Yeah.
So let's give a plug over there to those guys up there in Alaska. I want to give a plug to shipping your stuff up there, you guys. I wouldn't have thought about that until this year, and to get the rods to Dave to bring on the plane, that wasn't going to happen. It wasn't enough time when Dave brought this up, and I looked into it. It was like 15 days to get it there on the cheapest, right? So you just a couple of weeks early send your stuff up there. It was like $33 to send the rods. I'll pay $33 just so I don't have to carry them to the airport, right? And drag them around. It was absolutely the most perfect way to do it. I want to give a plug to that lodge up there. They need to be filled up, you guys. That's like the most amazing way if you don't know how to drive a boat, I get it. You need a guide, you need to do all that. That's all good. But for these people that know that from Southern California, that have been around the water all these years fishing, that seems like the most amazing way to go. So ship your rods up there, put a return label in it so you could ship it back. It's cheaper and easier, more efficient all the way around, and you get to fish with your own rods instead of how they've focused on broomstick fishing, whatever that is.
Yeah, the rods that don't bend. Yeah. Gang, and the shipping thing is so flippin' easy. When we got to the lodge, in our room was all the products, a couple hundred lures and the 3 rods and the 3. He sent us an extra reel just to make sure in case one, and we didn't ever have to even use it, Daniel, because we're like, we're not going that deep. We're not gonna put that McCarty.
You guys never put the McCarty 10 on.
No, we'd all look at each other in the morning and go, "Does someone want to use that?" No, we're using the Tesoro 5. They're like money. They're
cute little reels, aren't they?
So
they really are special reels. We got to get. I got to figure out how to do this, but for the money wise, I got to get 3 of those on Justin's boat and 3 of them on Al's boat. Pablo stepped up. We got him on Pablo's boats, but I'd like to see you guys all fishing them. It would be super awesome. Help us out. Help us get the word out. Help get the word out that this really is a better mousetrap, guys. There's no doubt about it in Dave's mind. No doubt about it, I think, in Pat's mind now. And Ron's been a fan. Ron's had 3 of them for 6 months now or 5 months. He's been fishing them. You guys.
And Don Stanley, a dime would work. Show that pin one more time here, how it works, gang. I want you to see this. And I'm going to show you a cool video of Justin the other day.
Unlock. Right now it's in the lock. See the dimple up against the lock. There you go. Yeah. See if I can. There. Now it's halfway turned. It's pretty easy with that. Now you put a screwdriver on there and you turn it a little bit. You could feel the tension and you could feel that it's never going to turn. And after 8 days of you guys trying to make that pin turn, you weren't able to. Failure. No. Yeah. It doesn't move, you guys.
Absolutely.
If anybody ever loses a fish and they try and tell me the pin turned, it's not going to fly, guys. You didn't lock it in the beginning. So you do need to make sure your gear's locked. I mean, just like any fishing you do, you got to inspect it before you throw your bait out. Make sure that everything's right. I don't know how to tell you. You got to make sure you don't have nicks in your line, right? You don't want to break your line because the last time you went fishing, you had a little nick in it. Well, you got to check the gear. That pin's not turning. Ron and Pat and Dave tried to get this thing to turn for 8 days. And they had a 60-pound and a 40-pound lingcod on it at the same time. And the pin did not turn. It doesn't turn, you guys. Don't worry about it.
Absolutely. Gang, the other day, Justin was fishing at Catalina, his normal Wednesday with Paul and Anthony. And gang, they sat on a spot all day and caught a million fish, barracuda and calico bass. And they did exactly what Justin tells you guys all the time. Don't leave fish to look for fish. And they were rewarded with this fish. Check this out. That was at Catalina, gang. And everyone's like, oh, there's no tuna. The water's cold. Sucking their thumbs, sitting on the dock waiting. Do what Justin does. Like he said on the Yellowtail VIP meeting the other night. Gang, Catalina's on fire. He's been every trip. He's got a sea bass or a yellowtail trip after trip after trip. Get these people fish of a lifetime. And he's got that island pretty figured out. There's no reason to not go fishing unless the only thing you go fishing for is to show a picture of a 200-pound tuna. Then we know you're not into fishing anyway. Get on Justin or Al's or Pablo's boat and get out there and go fishing. Fishing's red hot right now for fish. I know the dumb fish aren't here yet. The dumb fish will probably be here at the end of July, in August. The ones that you can just go out and find a kelp patty and drop your bait in the water and soak a dead bait and catch a fish. Those dumb fish will show up soon. Right now, it's all talent fishing for yellowtail bass, barracuda at the islands. It's
Get your
fun, though,
talent.
and it'll hone your skills. Like Todd was saying on the podcast yesterday, if you can go out there and consistently catch legal calico bass, I'm not talking short bass on the bare hook. If you go out there and consistently catch legal calico bass, then you're ready for when the dumb fish show up, the Dorado and the yellowfin. You know, those, I'm just being honest, they don't take a lot of talent to catch those. You just have to pull off 4 or 5 feet of line, drop your bait in the water, and they eat it. I know that's why everybody loves them, because
It's
they're
fun.
dumb. But the talent fish, Daniel, are Byte. Get out there, go fishing. Bowline Sport Fishing or Captain Al, Clowers, get out there with the guys. I'll show their QR codes. There's no reason to wait. This is it. And
Yeah, you can catch a trophy fish any day of the year. It could be the shittiest day of the year, and you just might connect. Dave, I did see up here. Hey, Brent, I think it's Rodriguez. It's bright out here. He's asking what kind of metal it's used, and we use aluminum 6061 anodized, and the pin that is in there is stainless steel 316, I believe that's the number. There is a spring, a ball, and a grub screw that is all stainless steel in there also. Thank you for the question, Brent, by the way. And yes, it depends which old pens you're talking about. I've adapted to pen VISX. We've adapted to some international, and we've adapted to the Fathoms. If they are unscrewed, if the foot is able to be unscrewed, I can adapt to it. If it's pinned, it takes a little bit more work. Let's see, what else did you have, Brent? Did you have?
well, explain to them they have to change the reel seat on their rod.
Yeah, so Brent,
on their reel. Excuse me, on their reel. You have to change the reel seat itself.
Yeah, on the reel itself, the foot, the cleat has to be pulled off. So if it's screwed in like the VISXs, I could unscrew that foot and screw a foot on, and I have them made for the 20 and the 30 and the 50, or the 20 and the 30 and the 50 and the 70. The smaller one I haven't made yet. We can adapt to any reel, any conventional reel, pinned or screwed. If I haven't done it yet, I can get that reel in my hands, unpin it, model it, crank it out. So yes, Brent, with your old pens, we possibly can use them. It just depends on which ones you have. I can't type it in, Dave, but I want to give my phone number, but if somebody could type this in, would be awesome. And then you guys can call me anytime you want. If I'm awake, I'll answer the phone. I'm kind of like Dave. This is a new business I am promoting. I'm here at any time of the day. If I'm awake at 3 in the morning and you text me, I'll answer you. So be careful. The phone number and my name are at the top of the website on every page. Feel free to call anytime, but I'm going to tell you my number, and I'm hoping, Dave, I can't type in on this. So it's just, I'm going to say, Brent or Darren, please type in my number into the comments on any platform you're at.
Go ahead, just give it to me right now, slow, and I'll have it up in 1 second.
805 300 3832. Put that number in your Rolodex, guys. Put it on your phone. My name's Daniel Rubin, and there it is,
There
real
you go.
quick. It's my personal number, guys. I will answer it anytime. I want to get this product out there. I'm living ReelQuick right now. That's all I'm doing. I want this product in everybody's hands. It's a great benefit to anybody fishing with conventional gear. It's an absolute game changer. It's changed my fishing. It's changed what I do. Guys, you get on a long range boat, and I don't even set my gear up the first day. I kind of just wait to see what we're fishing for. I'll go grab a reel, a rod, and put it together, and I'm fishing in 48 seconds with a hook on. It's that quick, guys. Get off the boat. All my gear's pulled apart. All the reels are rinsed in the sink. All the reels get put back in a bag. All the rods are put in a they're all bundled together. Nothing gets damaged. It's it's a safe way to travel with your rods and reels. I'm changed. Go ahead, Dave.
Check this out. One more video I want to show you guys. We showed it at the beginning of the show, but no one was watching. Check this out. This is the Gulf of Alaska. This is Ron and Pat and I fishing in some super deep water in some really gnarly weather. This is Alaska, gang.
Immediately bit on. I'm just amazed that there's even fish in this crappy little lake that Pat picked to fish today.
Oh no! Oh no! Captain Magoo to you, buddy.
Ron's got a whopper. Ron may have a lingcod here in the depths.
Ah! You can slide one out. Well,
Oh, look at the size of the black.
that's a big one.
We got a whopper on the Cara. We got a whopper on the Mad Eel. There, look at that. Hold it up there for everyone to see that thing, Ron.
Yeah, look at that. Pretty gnarly
So
weather,
exciting.
right? Just crazy.
Hey, Dave, since I've been involved with you, this is what I'm getting many times a day now that I wasn't getting. I was getting it one a week. We're getting it's going to be backwards probably, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, my website is getting inquiries daily, multiples that I'm answering questions because of the power of your saltwater guide. It's freaking awesome. Thank you, Dave Hansen. Thank you. Thank you, your saltwater guide members. Slowly get on this, you guys. You guys will be happy to use the gear. And you know what? Everybody that says, what do I do with all my old gear? I tell them, you guys spent money on that gear. Fish it. Fish your gear. But the next time you buy a rod and a reel, because every angler that's going to continue fishing through their life is always going to buy another rod and a reel in their life. Why not buy ReelQuick this year for your next rod? And then you've started your quiver. Just every year, buy another rod and a reel, and in 5 years, you are going to be super happy to donate those other rods and reels to wherever, Rollo's Kids at Sea or whatever, wherever. I don't fish any of that old gear anymore. It's all gone. It's all ReelQuick now.
Yeah, gang, and just give Daniel a call if you kind of having a hard time wrapping your head around what we're talking about. He'll walk you through the whole system. He show you, get over on the website, talk about it, see his videos, everything you need to know about it. Don't hesitate to text message him or call him. You can text him if you're afraid to talk, or you can call him on the phone there. Right there's the phone number, ReelQuick. And gang, it's Saturday. I just got back into town. We did our podcast this morning. We got some cool stuff, some cool updates on what's going on. It's going to be super windy today. It's just the way it is. There's no way around it. Looks like it's going to back off tomorrow. Be kind of nice on the beach tomorrow anyway. So there's plenty of fish to catch. There's no reason to not go fishing. And Daniel Rubin, thank you so much for a phenomenal podcast this morning.
We're going to see the ocean. I don't know. I'm not sure we're going to be able to see any detail because it's too hazy. Yep, no islands out there today, guys.
See that haze on the water? That's salt. That tells you the wind's howling. When the salt is in the air like that, that's because the wind is howling. And it makes it look almost like fog. But what that is it's all salt getting blown up. Crazy.
Dave, I wish you a happy day, man. Wish you a good day. Do we get any fresh questions before we jump off?
No.
I'm only seeing one platform. So anyways, you guys, like Dave said, call if you have questions. I'd be more than happy to answer anybody's questions. I'm going to go on my website right now and answer two that came in since we've been talking. It's like, it's probably Darren and Pat.
Yeah, whatever. Well, whoever, as long as it's somebody, that's all that matters.
Yeah, Pat, if Pat's still on there, I really do want to talk to you and sit down and tell you the story of ReelQuick. Maybe Pat can help me a little navigation, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll text you his number. If he doesn't text you right now, he probably has already texted you. But gang, thank you all very much. Have a great weekend. Turn off the news. They're all lying. This is the only place you get the truth. We'll be back with you on Monday. We'll have a great day. Hopefully we bring in Justin and Al and Pablo and talk about what's going on. Have a great day. Like I keep saying, Daniel, thank you always for being with us on Saturdays. We really appreciate you, and we'll see you all on Monday. Have a great day.
Thanks,
Have a
Dave. Take care.